And guess what? We're talking about sleep deprivation. You know, anybody who works this morning shift, they'll tell you they're groggy most of the time, driving into work during the wee hours, sometimes done in a fog. And I'm not talking about the real fog. Dr. Joseph Ogile from the Clayton Sleep Institute is here to talk about a new study concerning sleep deprivation and driving. Good morning to you, Doc.
Good morning, Randy.
And I know we whine about our shift. We signed up for this, right? We get it. It's part of the deal. However, we are not the only ones who are sleep deprived and jumping behind the wheel and driving. Especially this time of the year, we see teenagers, all-nighters, parties, exams, you name it, things like that. So it's getting pretty dangerous out there.
It is, and so the National Sleep Foundation has just released the first consensus statement, bringing together scientists from all over the country. They did a thorough review of the literature and ultimately reviewed over 300 scientific articles on driving and drowsiness, and have come up with the first set of recommendations.
And who is most, I guess, susceptible to this driving while sleeping-ish?
Well, we're all susceptible, so all of us are. Of course, young people are even more susceptible. And so the initial set of recommendations clearly states that if you've had less than 2 hours sleep, you absolutely should not be driving. And that's it's driving at a level that's equivalent to being legally intoxicated in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, and some people might argue, what? I've not been drinking, I'm fine. But the studies have shown the effects are the same.
The effects are very clear. And the other part of that is, and you raised the perfect point, Randy, because when you are that sleep deprived, you do not realize that you're impaired. You do not realize that you're sleepy. And that's how young people kill themselves and kill each other, by falling asleep at the wheel.
And that is absolutely true. The study has revealed that sleep deprivation has caused more than 6,400 deaths and 50,000 injuries to American drivers over the years. So the numbers don't lie here.
The numbers don't lie, and sadly, it increases their chance of that happening by over a third. Now, just because we talked about 2 hours or less of sleep, people shouldn't necessarily be confused. 3, 4, and 5 hours were very nearly, the consensus panel couldn't reach the threshold for that recommendation. It'd be my personal recommendation to you and our fellow St. Louisans that they should not be driving a motor vehicle at those levels of sleep the night before. The other thing is the consensus is only on one night, the night prior. Remember, many of us are chronically not getting enough sleep, and so that's
if we
another
add
problem.
to it with a 2-hour night.
Exactly. And so we're going to raise awareness thanks to you and Fox 2 and John. That's really helpful. Here in St. Louis, we have the TYRED organization, TYREDD, which I think you've interviewed on Fox 2 before.
Right.
They're out there working very diligently to try to raise this message with young people all over St. Louis and in other places in the country. So
got to try to get the message out there, right? Get your rest. It's so important, absolutely. If you want to learn more about this study, we're going to provide a link to it for you. And if you have more questions for Dr. Ogile, we've got a link to claytonsleep.com as well. It's all on our website at fox2now.com. Thank you, Doc.
thank you, Randy.